heading down the home stretch in T-CL 2025. The 5th event is the same as the one we saw recently in the 15th event of the main league, football. I'm probably not going to give an introduction on this one either, because, I mean, you just saw how it works in the main league. And the only two differences being, A, there is no demo run, because that doesn't happen in the lower division here. And secondly, the bracket is seeded reversed of what the main league was. Basically, 8th and 9th take each other on first, and then 1st and 16th take each other on last. For full context, here's that bracket, and there are the current standings so far. Sanford have held the lead the entire time, but Suzuki and Cupertino, with their golds and silvers, and not only sprint, but also the most recent event NFL endurance, are very close behind. And there you see the first heat we're going to get started with, 2 middle teams and the 2 rebranded teams, funnily enough, both in the same heat. And the 2 that both barely got on and barely missed the podium in the last event, it is Bedford and Exeter. And there they go, and oh, yeah, they did not go over forced. Captain of Bedford. Can London do it? No, they just knock Ford straight out. Yeah, not much starting here. Neither team is able to get a single point on the board. Still nothing. And there's Bedford, Exeter getting 1 point on the board. So they're up 1-0, and that honestly might be where it ends. Okay, it's 1 apiece. Will it keep going, or will Exeter finish it here? Yep, they're going to win, and that's going to be a 3-1 victory, in fact. And now, the 2M teams, Mexico City and Leon makes a great move there, and it's 2-0 Mexico City off just the first throw already. And Monza are not going to change that one bit. In fact, they pretty much bettered the way for Mexico City to make that. I'm not going to lie. They can't even do that. Still nothing for Monza either. Mexico City. Honestly, Leon making it might just seal it up, but no, Monza's going to make it 2-1. That's still not enough for them, though. Mexico City, they both make the shot and the marble, they win. Alright, Monza, now they have to do just that with Brianza here. Is it going to work? It is! And we will keep going. Back to the captains. Leon, 4-3 now to Mexico City's favor. 4-4. Oh, if Monza make it, they make it through. And they do. 6-4 is the final score for this match. And now 2 S teams, Seoul and Santa Clara. Game struggled in the last event, but clearly not this one. There we go. 1-0 Seoul. 2-0. 2-1. 3-1. So pretty much all they have to do is just not completely screw this up. They did, though. Alright, now Santa Clara, but they have to clutch it up massively here. It's just not going to happen. 3-1. And now Mumbai and Cumberland. However you say that. Not going to do anything, though. Nor is Rhode Island. 0-0. Still 0-0. Still nothing. What am I going to do with this one? I'll make this Tennessee. Are they going to do it? Yes! And they're up 1-0. 1 apiece. And we'll keep going. 2-1. Now Rhode Island has to cook here. They have to lock in, and they're not going to. And it will be a 2-1 victory to Mumbai. Now, Braintree and Conton, 2 relegated teams from last year, but unlike Conton, Braintree have actually been doing pretty well. Not in the last event, but in the first half, very much so. for the team who might have quite literally overdosed on dominance to win the main league in 2022. Like, I can't describe how dominant that was. It still dominates my brain to describe how dominant that run was 3 years ago to this day. And they're up 1-0 is what I would have said, but no. And Conton, they're actually up 1-0. Now Braintree make it 1-1. Now 2-1. Two to 2. Conton, if they make this, they're through, and likely might be free from the relegation zone after this event. And they do! They win it 3-2. And now Cupertino and Weymouth, one team who, among those top three, is pretty much all but clinched, or at least will have all but clinched by the end of this event, I guarantee, no matter what happens. That they'll be going back to the qualifiers, and Weymouth just trying to see it. Now California starts off and gives Cupertino a 2-0 advantage already on Weymouth. East Weymouth makes that 2-2 already. 3-2. 3-3. 5-3. We're really gonna have to pull off something here. 5-4 at least. Very competitive match for sure. And Cupertino have all but screwed that up now, Weymouth. Can they lock in with this last marble? Yes, they can! They win at 6-5. And they might actually escape the relegation zone. And now Suzuka and Turku. One team looking to chase down Sanford for a championship, and the other just hoping to follow in the footsteps of what Conton and Weymouth just did. Yeah, winner of the last event. And that'll be a 2-0 lead for Suzuka right off the bat. Although he was a bad baseball, not football. 2-2 already. Ooh, very messed up there by Hyogo. The winner of the other individual event, but clearly that didn't help. It's 2-2 where it stays, and now it's 4-2, no, 3-2, but still Turku have it in their advantage. Not anymore though, now it's 4-3. 4-4. Still 4-4. I think Turku might just straight up win this. And they will. 5-4 over Suzuka. And now Frankfurt, if they can't beat Sanford here, I mean, they might just be condemned to relegation, depending on what placement they get heading into the final event. So captains, so Maine will be getting that, and give Sanford a not surprising 2-0 advantage. Make it 2-1. And now 4-1 already! 4-3, thankfully for Frankfurt. Now 6-3! What a brilliant tactic there by Sanford. 6-4. Alright, Sanford eventually making it to the marble of the football. Yep, it's over. 8-4, and that's our last place finish for Frankfurt once more. And there's the 9th through 16th, Cupertino, Suzuka, Braintree, Cumberland, Mexico City, Bedford, Santa Clara, of course, Frankfurt. Get it in that order, and this time there's no 2 consolation points that Frankfurt are going to be getting. So honestly, they might just be washed in terms of trying to make it to the qualifiers. And I'll talk about 2 teams, Exeter and Monza over a medal, and just nothing else trying to prevent themselves with that medal from ending up like Frankfurt pretty much almost certainly will now. Exeter will take a 1-0 lead. Now it's 1-1. 2-1. The football still has not fallen off yet. Okay, now it has, and it's 2-2. It stays 2-2. It still does. Exeter will make it 4-2. No, 3-2. But still, Monza, can they overcome this? It's not impossible or insurmountable. But it's not going to happen. They miss it by the skin of their teeth. And Exeter move on and might have just clinched their spot in the 2026 qualifiers, to say the least. Now, Seoul and Mumbai, 2 teams that absolutely stormed the balance beam in the last team event that showed up at the Showdown. Now can they storm the football field against each other in this quarterfinal?
getting it mixed in the classic way, which is starting to become way more common than just properly hitting the football now. Not gonna happen for the captain of Mumbai, though, whatever the name is. And it's 2-0 in Seoul's favor. And now it's 2-2. 3-2. Stays that way. So they make this with both the marble and no, this does not happen. Could they make it 4-2 though? Yes. And now Mumbai is pretty much an impossible gap to go down, and yeah, it's just not going to happen. Even if this makes it over, it will not count. Because, yeah, they had to do it on their own, and they didn't. So, yeah. 4-3, Seoul will win. Now, Canton and Weymouth. Talk about an absolutely huge quarterfinal. Two teams that were both relegated last year and are desperately trying their best to avoid it again. Whoever does is probably escaping the relegation zone that they're both currently in right now. And Canton, I was going to say have a 1-0 lead, but now it's 1-1. Now it's 3-1 in Canton's favor. Now it's 3-2 Weymouth. Now it's 4-2. Newton better hope that they can show some fortitude, and they do at least make it 4-3. So chances are it won't be entirely impossible to overcome. Alright, still isn't. The marble that was a hammer for them in the first round is not able to keep it going, and Weymouth might have just condemned themselves to another relegation here. And Canton beat them 5-4 in this quarterfinal. And now, if Turku can advance, Weymouth's hopes of escaping relegation are going to look increasingly dead. If Turku can't advance, their hopes might just straight up be dead as well. They have to face the championship leaders to do it. But they're off to a good start, up 2-0. And now it's 2 apiece. 3-2. Still 3-2. No, 3-3 rather. 4-2. No, 4-3. What am I? 4-4. Might just try to be in general, just a tie. 5-4. And we'll keep going. Back to the captains. Varsities. 6-5. And it's a bit of a reprieve for Turkey to do at least get 5th place. Same for Weymouth at 6th, and Mumbai and Monza in 7th and 8th. And I'm not even going to pan the camera over here, because, I mean, you might actually be able to see Exeter and Seoul in the first quarterfinal off to that side. I meant semifinal, but now you can't see them. Alright, 1-0 Exeter. Now it's 1-1. Now it's 2-1. Oh, that was reckless. Now it's... Yep, 2-2. 3-2. 3-3 as Exeter messed Seoul up right there. Oh, they're so bad, but they do get around it. And now it's 4-3. Now, could Seoul make it? No, they'll keep going. It's still 4 apiece. Back to the captains. London. Oh, so close, but 5-4. 5-5. 6-5. Alright, don't make me do it with the both orange teams here. And you still did anyways. Well done, Seoul. You advanced to the finals. And now Canton and Sanford. Anyway, both these teams would love to advance to the finals for very different reasons. And we'll start off on a 1-0 advantage for Canton. Now it's 1 apiece. 3-1 Canton! To be honest, they might as well just cook Weymouth's chances of escaping relegation and give it to themselves right here. Now it's 3-2. Now it's 5-2. And it's not going to end right here. It's now 5-3. But it will end right there, 6-3. Now Exeter and Sanford for the bronze medal match here. For the sake of confusion, that Sanford ended up losing that second semifinal, otherwise I wouldn't be able to tell. Would just have to scorch like New York and Kuala Lumpur for who's who. Like semifinal B in the main event. Alright, it's 2-0 Exeter. 2-1. 4-1 already. 4-3. Yes, that does count. 5-3 already. 5-5. Now for Exeter, this is very much in the antithesis of what it was at the beginning of the match, but they make it 7-5. Don't make me do it to Sanford again. They're going to make it to a 7-7 game so far, and we're going to keep going here. Back to the captains. 9-7. And that's where it ends, and Exeter do get the bronze. And now, Sanford and Canton for gold here. One piece of crazy irony with Canton is they had 20 points from the 4 events combined entering this event, and they're going to get 20 points in this event if they lose the final, which if they do, they'll be a little bit less safe from relegation than if they win. I try not to get relegated for what off of my short-term memories at least like third time in a row. Could be fourth, actually. And they're already down 2-0 in this final. To say the least, that's not a great start, but they bring it back with 2-2. 3-2. 4-3 in Canton's favor. Now it's 4-4. 6-4. It's over. Canton have already won. And Canton, that is their first gold medal in just anything since, or just medal in anything, honestly, since, I don't even want to know how long ago, but it's been a pretty damn long time. But it has happened for them. They have won gold, and how many positions are they going to rise in the standings from this? Seoul might take the lead in the championship. Exeter, I'd say they're probably about the same state as Canton after this event, to say the least. So, with one event to go in the Showdown, we have a lot to unpack here. The top 6 are safe from relegation, can't be relegated. Top 9 can still win. 7th, 8th, and 9th, Exeter, Canton, and Mexico City can still theoretically get relegated. Bedford can still podium and get relegated, and from Monza on down through what might be an already washed team in Frankfurt are unable to podium and aren't safe from relegation. So technically there are 10 teams that can still get relegated and the others can still win. Among those that are about the final event will be the elimination race. I'll see you there.